Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 6, Episode 19, Dear Karma. So let's get into it. So a lot done happened in this episode, and I'm just like, wow. Literally was throwing a curveball. But, you know, you get how things are being received. So let's get into it. So it starts off with Penelope. See, I remember her name this time. Penelope, Danny, Andy, and Sabrina. They're standing at like the doorway, and Penelope overhears Danny talk about you need to tell her. And then she was like, tell me what? And then you just see Andy's face like, like, girl, you gotta, like, honestly, I would say woman to woman, like, you gotta be woman enough to let somebody know if you've been dealing with this man, and so that next person don't get hurt, but you've been standing there with your mouth shut, like, well, to each his own, like, let me not say nothing. But Danny is like, I kind of feel like it wasn't even Danny's place to say what she said, but Andy wasn't going to say nothing, so I was like, dang, she had her friends back, but at the same time, it's like, dang, this wasn't your place to say either. And then Andy was like, you just got to talk to your fiance, you got to talk to Gary. She was like, no, just please tell me what's going on, because after a while, Andy's not saying this, so I could kind of honestly see why Penelope keep egging her on, like, just tell me, like, I mean, granted, she's pregnant, but, you know, it could have been worse than that, so it's like, might as well just get it out in the open. So eventually, Danny let the cat out the bag that, you know, Andy and Gary been together for years, and that he was with y'all together. He bought her a house, he bought her a car, just like the same thing he did with you. And on top of that, he gave her Andy's ring. Like, yeah, so now that all the boys done came in, and they was like, what's wrong? Are you good? And Danny was like, you need to talk to this dude right here. So then Tony got on to him, was like, listen, we don't do this type of stuff. Like, we let you into our circle, and you doing this, and you playing with my boy's sister behind his back. Nah, we not doing that. You got to leave. And, not Andy, Tony and Danny, like, they were both about to jump on this man. Like, everybody was like, nah, just stop. Jordan was like, stop now. You got to get up out of here. Rich was like, you got to get up out of here. Like, and he left. And then everybody just was like, Jordan was like, did you know? She was like, Andy was like, no, of course not. And then Danny and Sabrina both co-signed that she did not know. Because honestly, we all did not know. But then again, thinking back when around the time, I think it was season 1, when I think Leslie, the investigator, was looking into Gary stuff, that when that woman, he had a picture. She found a picture of Gary with this woman. I believe that was her. But nobody didn't know that at the time. But you know what? You know, it is what it is. So that's that. Everybody went their separate ways. Jordan decided to, of course, that's his sister. Jordan and Penelope, they hugged it out. And yeah, Sabrina's drove. Danny in the back still running her mouth. And Andy's just looking like so distraught and like off, staring off into a daze and trance in the car. And it's just like, So eventually, Danny calls Karen, tells her, like, I got some tea to tell you. And then Karen was like, so, how did the date go? He was like, there was a date. She was like, nah, that was fine. There's some other stuff. She's like, all right, we'll be there in like 15 minutes. All right, and stuff like that. So that was that. I'm surprised Calvin really stood on his word with Maurice. He got him out to this old party and whatnot. And this guy named Patrick started to hit on Maurice. But you know Maurice, since he had that whole issue with Q, he tried to play it off like coy, like he don't got no interest in him. But at the end, Patrick ended up giving him his number, and he was talking to Chris, and then he was letting Chris know that, like, he would have smashed right then and there, he would have left with him. But, you know, during his history, he ain't trying to go down that same road. I understand, but, you know, sometimes you gotta live a little. So that was that. What else? Oh, Fatima and Zach couldn't sleep because he was thinking about his son. And Fatima was like, nah, I'm going to stay with you. He was just, like, talking about going down memory lane. She was like, it was just five minutes. Like, who would have known 5 minutes of mistake would have cost, like, my child being hurt and harmed and not knowing if he's good or not. Like, and then you start going back on it and talking about how things happen and whatever. And then Fatima tried to make light of the situation, but he thought that she was trying to judge him, but she was just like, no, trying to like brighten the mood, because, you know, nobody wants to go down that path of thinking like, dang, what would happen if I would have just did this? But, you know, things happen for a reason. So now, Fatima talks Zach into like going back to sleep to like ease his mind a little bit so that they hold each other, and that was that. Now the girls finally get to Karen's house. Danny tells Karen what's happening. Sabrina chimes in too, and it's just like, well, dang. And the crazy thing is, Karen said that she was like, she peeped his actions from a mile away. Like, she just picked up on his demeanor and mannerisms. It's just like, And then it was like, well, dang, she was true. Now I kind of see how when he set Andy up with that little wedding thing and Karen wasn't trying to go with it, it makes sense now. Like, you can just tell. Once an F-boy, always an F-boy. You get him how you lose him. Exactly what happened, because Andy started thinking like, what if this is her karma, because when she met Gary, he was married. So you mean to tell me, like, it's crazy how he was messing with all these women, and granted, not one of them has gotten like a STD. You could tell he wasn't having protected sex. Like, he was with all these girls at the same time. Like, wow. And I guess Gary was a good charmer, because it's like he literally got each one of them feeling like they're the only ones. And they all had the same ring and everything. It's just like, well, dang. So now, like I said, Andy feels bad because now she feels that her karma's coming back to get her. Because, like I said, like she said, she met Gary when he was married to Jasmine. And then he was messing with her. And now he was with Andy messing with Penelope. And then the fact that he said all the mean and hurtful things, that she meant nothing to him, that she didn't love her, that she wasn't wife material. Like, but you did all these things, but she's not wife material. Make it make sense. You the one that was crying over her. And I guess once she stroked your ego and tell him all you was good in bed, it really flipped the switch. But I don't know why you was acting that way if you had a whole girl pregnant and all. Like, make it make sense. But anyways, the girls tried to reassure her, like, nah, you good, you straight, you whatever. That's his loss. And then Karen talking about she ordered pizza. Danny don't want to go home because she don't want to do it Preston. Girl, you basically stringing this man along. You asked to be with him in like dating phase, but you out here dealing with somebody that you work with. Like, come on now. Make it make sense. He's everything you need in a man, but you out here playing this man. And now you don't want to go home to face the fan. Nah, make it make sense. Go home, talk to your dude, and let him know what's up. Because obviously, Tony don't got a problem with you messing with Preston, and he's still seeing you on the side. So, yeah, communication is key. You need to communicate that across the board with everybody. So, that was that. Finally, Fatima gets woken up out her sleep because Heather's neighbor Cheryl called and let them know that this ambulance is outside. Y'all need to get over here real quick. And everybody was trying to know if Michael's okay. Like, we don't know that. Just get over here real quick. And so, yeah, that was the end of this episode. Like, it was too much. Like, at this point, I'm so sick and tired of Andy and her nonsense. Like, I'm wondering if she can just let go and let God. Like, you finally met this dude who's treated you right from jump, and now you're still trying to second guess whether you want to be in the dating scene or be like Karen and not like date nobody at any point in time. Like, listen. And I'm like, Danny was like, you know, you kind of forced into this because it's like you don't want to be outside in the club pregnant and you trying to find somebody to date. Like, listen. But then again, there are people that go out their ways to, like, you know, date pregnant women. Like, they understand that it's not their responsibility, but if they willing to take on that responsibility, kudos to them. So, yeah, this episode was that in a nutshell. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if y'all are keeping up with the season, because the season is almost over, we're literally to the end, like right here. We right here. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed again, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.